hello. It's a cloudy day. That's why I didn't, it kind of, it took me a while to come out. But guess what? Here I am. And faithful companion, he's there too. And if it wasn't for him, I probably still go for walks because, as I said before, I like to feel the fresh air, especially in the winter when inside the house is so warm. Does this happen to you? So let's see, what am I gonna feel inspired about today? The leaves are brown, so not so inspiring to me right now. I think we passed the time when the leaves were rich in fiery colors. Right now they've become dry and very lifeless. Like, to me, they don't speak to me, but they may speak to you. I'm gonna put on my tunes and let my thoughts flourish and see where this goes. Looking at the colors or the lack thereof, and I'm thinking, well, why doesn't it appeal to me? And then I'm like, of course, Sylvina, because your color palette is super bright, super colorful, and then I started thinking, well, this is who I am. Funny enough, I admire people who can stay in the neutral color palette. I really do, and sometimes I wish I could do that, and oftentimes I try, and it's hard. It's hard for me to stay neutral. I'm always tempted, as soon as I see the color, to apply it on my paper or my canvas. Hardly ever do I stay within, the pale browns or the whites, the different tints of whites. Yep, there's always going to be a splash of color. And I guess that's okay. That defines who I am. That defines my art. And that's what works for me. Do you like neutrals? Like, even in my house, I wish sometimes I could stay within the neutral colors or my clothing. But it only lasts so long, right? I love neutral colors, and I love it when people have their houses decorated all in neutrals, or when I find someone who is whose wardrobe is all neutral colors, and I wish I would sometimes do that too. Well, guess what? Nope, that's not the case. So even going for a walk in this weather, where all the leaves now have changed from reds and oranges and yellows to more the browns and the tans, and it's not that appealing to me. When I come back home, I end up painting the same colors that call my attention in the first place. Those rich reds and those rich yellows and those like intense fall colors when the leaves are wet and they're so shiny. So I may try, like you see, sometimes, okay, let's use some browns, let's use some whites, but sooner rather than later, I end up in a full color palette. And I love it. So, and treasure hunting is for me a source of inspiration. So I love going for these walks and finding things to look at. I take pictures of everything. I collect leaves. As you know, I have a ton of leaves that are now gone into the dry mode, but it's just beautiful. So there's always a good excuse to go out for a walk. There's always a good excuse to pay attention to the now and, fill your senses and be free in a way. I don't know. I just think that going for a walk gives me that time, like I said before, for my thoughts to develop. They're not just being held up by chores or by work. When I go for a walk, all those creative thoughts that are the fuel to my art making, they just come out. They're out there. There's nothing stopping them. And that's great, because then when I get back home, they're still there. And it's a perfect way to start a painting or a doodle or anything for that matter. So I love going for a walk, no matter the weather. And I hope to see you soon.